Thanks. So yeah, I'm honored here to be here and kind of display the partnership between our 1.2 million realtors. In fact, we've got about 9,300 of them just up the street, and they're here today in Washington, D.C. to really advocate for the sustainability and long-term viability of homeownership. And I think a lot of that has to do with, again, making sure that our communities are sustainable and that we're using energy in a productive manner. And so they're very excited, and it's definitely something that's kind of key on our minds. I also get to give a shout out to Columbia, Missouri, which is where I'm from, who I know is a huge partner and really a leader in this area. So it's something that I know is passionate to me and really passionate to our membership. There's probably three kind of main components right now that we are responding to in homeownership and energy efficiency. The first is one of our biggest missions is to do the research. You know, over the course of the year, we're going to have our realtor members who are going to participate in over 5.5 million homes. So it's that sale and transfer between the buyer and the seller, which we get to see. And then most importantly, we get to help assign the value to what does it mean to an energy efficient building, how does that play out, and who's willing to purchase it, and how that kind of comes into the components. So with our research, we're always trying to make the best data-driven decisions. And I think especially in this area, we know in our heart of hearts, we want to make sure everything's energy efficient. We know that's the right thing to do. We know that's the right thing to do for this earth, for the global economy, but then we've got to have the data to support it. So we have a report that we call the NAR Profile for Home Buyers and Sellers. It's one of our best reports that we have throughout the course of the year, and we're constantly asking buyers and sellers, what is it that you want? And the consumer interest right now is high. We know that they are interested in their cooling costs, their heating costs of their property, and in fact, only 16% of consumers did not find heating and cooling costs important. And when you kind of look at the geographic makeup of the country, it's probably in those areas where they live in those beautiful climates where it's not as important to them. We also have a Realtor Sustainability Report that we just released this April in 2017, which says 71% of realtors consider the promotion of energy efficiency in their listings, which is important. So that's really a tipping point for our organization, because we're now starting to see that we know that buyers are wanting to know more about energy efficiency components, and as the realtors are continuing to promote that as listings, we're starting to see it become more mainstream and certainly asked for. All of this kind of then culminates in our multiple listing system. The multiple listing system, which then advertises and promotes and defines the energy efficiency components throughout the course of the homes which we're selling. And so the National Association of Realtors is working with the Department of Energy on a project called the Home Energy Information Accelerator. And that kind of boosts the understanding of our agents and the MLS as far as the home energy efficiency components in those systems. Our top 100 MLSs in the country cover 40% of the U.S. housing market. So to really get green fields into those MLS systems, which then the appraisers are using, which then our mortgage lenders are using to try to define these values for the energy efficient components, are really important in our comparables and the data of which we're looking at. And of course, the millennials kind of set the third stage for this area. The Realtors and Sustainability Report showed that realtors noted 6 out of 10 clients are interested in sustainability today. The millennials are shaping what they want in their rentals, which then of course is going to translate into their housing markets with smart home energy use. And I thought the comments about digital are certainly at the top of our mind. We know that in the digital arena, if a seller puts digital components that make their home more energy efficient into that property, and now we're transferring that now to a buyer, how is that transferred? Who owns that property? And it really starts a conversation between the realtor, the homeowner, and the buyer, then also about security, privacy, who ultimately has information to that. And as we work closer and closer with our city governments, and we're really trying to work and monitor energy efficiency, it is certainly a concern and on people's minds of who's looking at all that data and who has that data. And is it the data then that follows the house, or is it the data that follows the person as far as the consumption of energy goes? And so we're trying to sort through all of those components. And then again, how do you assign the value of that to know that you can transfer that to the next person along the way? It's definitely our priority at the National Association of Realtors to try to remain a leader in this area. We've launched a lot of initiatives in this area. We have about 1,100 local member boards. So part of our initiative as a national association is to really make sure that our local boards are behind the research, they're behind the data, and then learning from them what's happening in the different communities and trying to share that amongst all of our channels. Some of our programs are, and we mentioned sustainability, also smart growth. We have an initiative at our organization. We have 2 headquarters, one in Washington, D.C., one also in Chicago, which houses what's called our CRT labs. And this is our Center for Realtor Technology. And this is an entire area which is designed on looking at and trying not to just analyze the current technology in regards to smart homes, but really design and build the next wave of smart homes. And they're currently working on a project which relates to energy efficiency and home performance. And kind of, for example, they're monitoring air quality and sensors within the home that promote healthier indoor environments. They have a Rosetta Home system which will allow viewers to view their home performance in real time and then proactively adjust all the features of energy efficiency to improve comfort when they're at the home and when they're not at the home. So that's another big piece of how we're trying not to just be aware of the trends, but also shape the trends and move them for our future. And certainly we are very proud to partner with the Department of Energy on efficiency and solar projects. We know probably 10 years ago, if you would have asked a realtor on the street, what do you think about energy efficiency components? I think they would have said it's a fad. I think they would have said it's just something that, somebody felt was maybe an addition or a benefit. That's not where we are today. It's not just a fad, it's a need, it's a necessity, and it's a desire, and it's definitely a desire of this next generation and also the National Association of Realtors to continue to advance these initiatives forward. So anything that we can do with all of the key thought leaders in this room, we are very proud to do so and appreciate the opportunity to be here today. So thank you. Thank you.